Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Grace and I am the Bronze Doula, owner and founder of Bronze Doula Services. It is an honor and a pleasure to share with you some of the knowledge that I have gained over the 7 years of experience that I have. So today's topic is optimal birth positioning. I get this question a lot. Doula Grace, what is optimal birth position? My doula keeps throwing it out. My midwife said it the other day, or my OB. I hear my friends talking about it. I've even heard it on TV, but no one really is explaining what it is. Optimal birth positions, it's only a phrase used to describe all the different ways a baby can be born. The face presentation or the occiput, the back of the head, the occiput. Where in relation to the pelvis is the baby's head positioned, right? Now, I'm going to show you something. If you haven't met my pelvis, here she is. She, in relation to a real human female pelvis, she's pretty accurate. Her weight and her size is pretty accurate. So, you guys got to meet her for the first time when I did my video on lining crotch. And if you didn't, please go to my channel and check it out. Take some time. Most of my videos are less than 15 minutes long, so they're pretty easy to watch and they're straightforward. This pelvis, with it, I want you to see something, okay? I'm just going to explain it, okay? The pelvis is not just one giant bone, okay? It is several bones connected to one another through cartilage and joints, tendons and other muscles, yes? And then inside over here in the cavities where you'll find the reproductive organs, so in the bladder. So you'll find the uterus, the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, including the bladder in this area, okay? Here is the symphysis pubis. Essentially, it's a piece of cartilage similar to your ear and your nose that connect these bones and allow for these bones to flex and move as you need to move. The pelvis does not lie inside of us straight up and down. If it did that, our full range of motion will not happen. So, our ancestors, being as smart as they are, helped us develop our pelvis tilted forward slightly, not too much. This allows for full range of motion and also allows for the sacrum, for the spine, to be aligned with the rest of our bodies, right? The curvature of the spine. Yes? Good. Now, in relation to this pelvis, how is baby's head positioned is what we refer to as optimal birth position. Now, babies can come in many different ways. Sometimes they come breech and they need some help getting out, and that's why we perform C-sections. Another form of breech is when babies are born buttocks first. Sometimes they're born feet first, 1 foot first, okay? But also, babies are born head down. This is what we call optimal, right? Because it allows for baby's biggest part of the body to come out first through the vagina so that the rest of the baby can come with it. Yes? And the face, the baby's face or the baby's head faces in different directions. So, the most normal position that most midwives and OBs prefer, and parents as well, is posterior. It's right occiput anterior. So what that's speaking about is that the baby's face is facing to the right slightly. The occiput or the occiput, the back of the baby's head, is facing anterior to the front, and the baby's face is facing back, right? Also, baby's chin tends to be tucked in as they're being born. This is what we call a fetal position. The legs are tucked in, the chin is tucked in, right? Nice little bundle coming through a very small area, right? Sometimes babies tend to turn to the left. Well, that's an LOA, right? Left occiput anterior or occiput anterior, or ROA, right occiput anterior. But sometimes babies are born what we, jokingly refer to as sunny side up. All that means is that baby's face is facing forward, right? And the baby's occiput, or the hardest part of the baby's head, is facing posteriorly, facing towards the spine and the sacrum. This is the position where you hear a lot of individuals say, "Oh my God, I have back labor, and it was so difficult. It's a lot of work, and it hurt a lot." Right? It's because the hardest part of baby's head is pressing against the sacrum. It's pressing against this part of the body, and here is where you have your sciatic nerves coming in and out of these outlets. All these little holes are called outlets, right? And you have your nerve, your sciatic nerve, one towards the right, one on the left side, and they come in and out of here. And if baby's head, the hardest part of baby's head is touching that, you're going to feel it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be very uncomfortable, okay? But babies can be born posterior, right? They can be born occipital, which is the back of the baby's head, posterior, right? And it'll be to the left or it could be to the right, similar as we did to the back, except that the face is facing a different way. Sometimes babies don't tuck their chins in. They come out what they call face presentation or forehead. So the forehead, it's the first part of the baby that comes out of the vaginal canal, or is the baby's face. So it's hyperflexing the baby and the baby's face. So you see their lips and their nose is coming out and they go smooshed up and they look like this cute little squishies. But again, it's a variation of normal, right? Sometimes babies, when they're coming out, they decide, oh, I'm having so much fun, and they put their hands in the way, right? And they come out with their hands around their face. And a lot of times when that happens, the umbilical cord tends to wrap around their head or the arm and the head, right? So that's what you call a nuptial cord, right? Depending on how long that cord is, it can wrap several times around the baby. It can wrap around the baby's head, around baby's arms. It can wrap around baby's feet or around the full circumference of the baby. Right? I've had clients where the baby came out, and no matter how mama did what she did, the baby's umbilical cord was wrapped around tightly around the baby's foot, so the baby never descended. The baby never was able to come down, despite mom dilating and having contractions that were pretty badass. But because the cord was holding baby down, no matter how many contractions that mama had, no matter how hard she pushed, baby wasn't able to completely fully descend. So in this case, the best thing that they could have done was to have a cesarean section, and both parent and baby came out beautiful, absolutely healthy and strong. Okay. A lot of times parents want to fix, like when you get a sonogram or maybe your midwife palpitates or touches your belly and they're like, oh, I think the baby's coming out a little wonky, and they explain to you, baby, it's not really facing the optimal birth. The baby's not optimally positioned, right, so that you can have a optimal birth. Yes. And the doctor says, well, you can do certain things to help. Some doctors and some midwives, especially elder granny midwives, have the experience of using their hands and gently moving the baby, right? And rotating the baby, but that takes someone who's very skilled. This is not something any doula should be doing, right? This is for a midwife with experience or an OB with experience to do, okay? There are movements that the parent can do. You can take, there's a class called spinning babies. I took spinning babies, and nearly all the doulas that I know that have a lot of years of experience value spinning babies, and I'll put their link below. Spinning babies teaches us that there are certain things that we can do, certain positions that we can put the parent in to encourage this baby to turn and rotate and put themselves in what's called optimal birth positions. Okay, but remember, these positions are just variations of normal, right? Babies don't have to completely be facing to the right. They don't have to be totally to the left. No. The position that your child comes in, position that your baby comes in, is just a variation of normal, okay? Now, sitting for very long times, right? For sitting for, you have to go to school, or maybe you have a job and you spend your day all day sitting at a desk. Laying a lot, having to drive long distances over, an hour and having to sit, right? Though, when you do that, that tends to encourage baby to get themselves into that sunny side up, right? The sunny side position where the occiput or occiput of the baby, the back of the baby, which is the hardest part, is facing towards the back, and the baby's face, all the mushies, are facing to the front, right? Um, so we encourage parents who spend a lot of time sitting, because jobs are jobs, and a lot of times we can't do the things that we know we can do, but work is work, and we have to make our money, right? So instead of sitting all day in a chair, get yourself a birth ball. Okay, most individuals can get away with using a 55 centimeter birth ball. If you're taller and larger like me, you need to go higher to a 65, maybe a 75 um, size birth ball. And use that to sit at your desk or in your school, wherever it is that you're spending a lot of time sitting. Obviously, not in the car. Don't be smart. I know you were thinking it. No smart. All right. So sit on the ball. And why a birth ball? Well, in order to sit on a birth ball, you have to sit with your legs wide open, right? So usually hip space apart, right? So here's your hips. And usually you want your legs to be aligned with your hips when you're sitting on a birth ball. Otherwise, you're going to bust your ass. And, you know, being pregnant, especially when you're really, really pregnant and falling, it's not fun. I know, because it's happened to me. So sitting on a birth ball allows your body to position itself and align itself so that you don't fall back. Right? So your legs are wide open, your hip spaces are open, you're engaging your core muscles, you're engaging your back, right? So remember, our core, it's like a garter belt, right? It wraps around us like a belt, like a sling. And if you don't practice those muscles and you don't use them, that sling can become sluggish and it can just not really work the way it should, right? So you're engaging your core muscles, you're making them tight, and all this happens subconsciously. You're not really paying much attention to it, because automatically, anytime you sit on a soft, moving surface, you have to balance yourself, right? You can also spend some time walking after work, right? Um, if you spend a lot of time on your feet, then when you get home, the opposite. You have to lie and put your feet up to allow all the fluid that you have retained in your feet and your legs to pass back through the lymphatic system and out through the bladder into the toilet, and bye-bye swelling, right? So it's really important, again, just to be mindful of how your body, how you're sitting, how many hours you're spending sitting, so that you can encourage baby to put themselves in optimal birth positions, okay? If you have any more questions about this topic or any other topic, maybe you have a question, and you want me to address it and make a video, please shoot me an email at info@bronxdoulaservices.com. Again, that's info@bronxdoulaservices.com. You can check me out on Instagram. Just type in The Bronx Doula. Boom, you will find me, and you'll see all the beautiful placentas and work that I do. If you want to hire me as your doula, shoot me an email, okay? My calendar fills up pretty fast, and a lot of times, back to back. I have a beautiful team of amazing doulas that can do the work for me when I'm booked. If you are a lower income client and you need a doula that does not charge as much as I do, I have 7 years of experience, over 70 births. I've done over 100 placentas. And as such, my fee reflects the amount of experience that I have. But I also have other doulas that I mentor and that I work with in partnership, and they can provide you this wonderful level of care. Excellent, because I make sure my doulas know what they need to know. Okay, I don't play. And they will provide you with excellent service. Their fees are a little bit more reasonable, a little more accessible to people who don't have a higher income. Okay. I am the believer that all individuals who are birthing, if you are pregnant and gestating, whether you identify as a woman or not, okay, if you identify as a man, a trans man, or gay, lesbian, does not matter, queer, you deserve excellent doula support and care. And here at Bronx Doula Services, we strive to give you guys 100% of everything we have, okay? So again, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here to share with you some of the knowledge that I've learned over the years. It is an honor to serve. My ancestors knew it. They knew this is where I was meant to be, and it took a long time to get here. But guess what? Here we are. Satnam. May you have a blessed day. Shoot us an email if you have a question. Bye, guys.